Hi everybody, Jason here again. What I wanted to do was I wanted to do a new Gemstone 4 video on character creation. So when you go to Gemstone, when you go to www.play.net, and when you create an account and you eventually start making your first character, this is what you're going to see. Step 1 of 8. So what you're going to go through is your gender, your profession, your race, culture, appearance, stats, skills, and your name. So I'm going to make a sorcerer on this run through. So basically, this is the first thing. You pick your gender, male or female. I'm going to pick male. You hit next. Now, what you're going to see here is this is going to give you the different classes. There are 10 classes in Gemstone. You can be warrior, rogue, wizard, a cleric, an empath. Empaths are healers. Clerics resurrect people that are dead. So when you die in the game, if there's a player that's a cleric, they can resurrect you. Wizards are all elemental damage. Spheres is elemental. Gemstone has elemental, spiritual, and mental. Those are the main 3 spell circles in the game. So wizards basically cast a lot of bolt attacks, fire, lightning, you know, typical wizard, typical elemental attacks. Let's go back to cleric. Clerics are spiritual. Again, like I said, they are good at resurrecting the dead and fighting the undead. Empaths are healers. In Gemstone, when you get hurt, you're going to need to heal your wounds. An empath can heal your wounds for you. Rogues, their sphere is arms. So I guess there's magic and then there's physical spheres. So in Gemstone, you have square professions, semi-professions, and pure professions. A square profession is basically a character that uses no magic. A semi-profession is a character that uses some magic, some physical attacks, and a pure character is only uses magic for combat, only magic. So rogues and warriors are pretty much square characters. They don't use magic, but they are very, very, very good characters to play. Let's see, we have the sorcerer. Sorcerers are both spiritual and elemental. That means that they have spells from the spiritual class and from the elemental class that a wizard would have. So they're pretty flexible characters. Rangers are also arms and spiritual, which means that's a semi-class. They can both attack with weapons, particularly bows, and they can cast spells. Bards, arms and elemental. Bards use songs to attack their monsters. They also use songs to spell up themselves with, you know, buffs and all that type of stuff. They are also semi because you can see they have arms and elemental. Same thing with paladins, arms and spiritual. Paladins are basically like fighting clerics. They can fight the undead pretty well. They can also cast spells while they wear plate armor, which is their benefit. Monks are minor mental. Monks are arms. I play a monk. Monks are really cool. Monks can be semi or square, so you can play them either way. So for this run through, I'm going to do a sorcerer. So let's click sorcerer. Now notice the prime stats here. So in Gemstone, you have statistics for your character. The prime stats for a sorcerer are aura and wisdom. Okay, so I'm going to focus on those stats. You hit next. Now you're going to pick your class, your race, I mean. So Gemstone has humans, and what this means is, see this modifier chart here? If you click if you click this, the strength right here, you're gonna get some stuff on the stats. So basically, Gemstone has strength, constitution, dexterity, agility, discipline, aura, intelligence, logic, wisdom, and influence. Now, strength determines your physical strength. That means swinging a weapon. It also factors into a lot of other things in Gemstone. It's a measure of physical prowess, basically. It also limits the amount of things you can carry and decreases your encumbrance. Constitution is the measure of physical durability of your character. It helps you, basically, Constitution helps you withstand more damage from monsters. It helps you withstand poison, disease. It also determines your character's hit points. So I don't really want to go into all those, but dexterity is very good for using bows. It also is good for spell aiming weapons. It's basically how well you can throw things or use ranged attacks. Agility is your defense. The higher your agility bonus, the higher your defense will be. Now, let's get into the magical stuff, or discipline. Discipline is a measure of the character's force of will. So there's a lot of different things that all of these stats play into in the game. Aura is elemental. Elemental magic. The stronger your aura, the higher your elemental magic. So aura comes into play with my sorcerer because he also can do elemental magic. Intuition. Intuition is a lot of luck. Your sixth sense. Intuition is used by rogues in Gemstone to pick locks. It's used for a lot of things in the game that have luck-based rolls. Okay. Let's go to logic. Let's see about logic. Let me see here. Yeah, logic is a lot about your experience. So in Gemstone, when you gain experience, your logic determines how much of that experience you can gain while you're resting. Because in Gemstone, when your mind gets filled with all this experience, you have to rest. You can't learn anymore. Logic helps you absorb all of those experience points to level faster. It also has a lot to do with the mental sphere of Gemstone. Mental magic. Wisdom is determines a lot for a sorcerer. It's very important for spiritual magic. Like I said with aura is elemental. Wisdom is spiritual. The higher your wisdom, the stronger your spiritual attacks will be. And influence. Influence, leadership, inspiration, persuasion, intimidation, fear, presence. The higher your influences, you might be better. You might not take so much damage or be susceptible to attacks of the mind. It comes into a play with bards, because bards sing their spells, so influence helps with bards. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to pick a race that increases our main stats. So if I'm a sorcerer, I want a high wisdom bonus, and I want a high aura bonus. Okay, because remember, I do elemental, I do spiritual. So let's see what we got here. Humans. Humans only give 5 to strength, +5 to logic, +5 to intuition. Not really what I'm looking for. Giant man. A giant man, they give a lot to strength, but since I'm going to be a sorcerer, I'm not going to rely on strength so much to attack my enemies. I'm going to use my spells. So a giant man, for me, not really going to work. Notice some classes give minus to different stats. So I'm going to get a -5 from a giant man, not what I want to do. Half-elves. Half-elves are pretty well-balanced characters. They get high dexterity, their defense is bolstered through their agility. I get no bonus to aura, and I get no bonus to logic. So, you know, if I wanted to play a half-elf, I certainly could. I'm not going to get any bonus, but I'm not going to get killed for it either, and I'm going to get some higher defense. Sylvankind. Sylvankinds are kind of like elves. Notice their dex is really high. As a sorcerer, I might use dex because I might want to aim my attacks. Like I said, dexterity is ranged attacks. That includes ranged bolts, fire, and other type of attacks. Agility, I'm going to get some defense. Discipline, my discipline's going down. Not really too important for me. But aura, my aura is up here, so that might help me a little bit. Okay. Dark elves. Okay, dark elves. These guys are pretty well suited to be sorcerers because of their high aura bonus, and they get no minus to logic. I'm getting a high intuition. My influence is down. Not so important to me. My influence, my discipline, somewhat important, but not too much. Constitution, I'm getting weaker, but my dex is really high, which that means that I'm also going to get a bonus to my attacks with my elemental attacks, and my aura is going to give me even more to my elemental attacks. And I'm not getting killed on logic either. Elves, okay? Elves are also another really good class. They're great for bows. Using bows, they get a high defense with their agility. Their dexterity is good for their bows. I'm not getting any bonus to my logic or I'm getting a bonus to aura, so they're not so bad. Dwarves, nah, not what I want to play as a sorcerer. I'm going to get a -10 to my aura. But you know what? If I wanted to be a warrior, certainly something like a warrior, I'm gonna go dwarf maybe. Dwarf or giant man. Halflings, okay? Now we're getting into the really, really pure races. You're not gonna see a halfling swinging a weapon, okay? Maybe, maybe not. More bows they would use. Because look at that, 15. Their dexterity is good to give them ranged attacks. I'm getting a -5 from aura, though, but a +5 to logic. So they're more suited for spiritual classes. And a wizard if you want to. You just have to overcome that -5. But look at all this stuff. They get 10 con, they get 10 dexterity, they get 10 agility. They're really suited to, you know, non-melee races. Non-melee classes. Forest gnomes. These little guys, I get a +5 to logic. That's good for spiritual. Again, more suited for ranged attacks. Burgle gnomes. Okay, these guys are really weak. You got a -15 strength. Again, not good for your melee. I get a +5 to aura, and a +10 to logic. So this might be really good for my character. Because I'm getting my +5, I'm getting my +10 to logic. Okay? I'm not going to be able to carry much with that -15 strength, though. Alright? Half Krovan. Krovan is an ape-like race in Gemstone. They're pretty much bad guys all the way. They always attack the lands in the game. They invade a lot. Now, they're more suited for melee classes, a lot of strength, like on Constitution. But look at this. All their magic stats, their logic, their wisdom, their influence is down. I don't really want to be one of them. An Orinthian, okay? These guys are also kind of like, they're kind of like elves. Also, not a bad class. Nothing to aura, but a +5 to logic. And Alatoi, another different types of class in Gemstone. They got a high agility.